got him. Got that one out of that bush right there. Come on, son. Oh, he's in a bush or a tree or something. Oh no, oh there he come loose. Oh, that's the nice thing about that braid. Come on, son. Woo! Look at that. Look at that fish. He just crushed my buzzbait. Ah, come on, come on. You're done, you're done. Ah. Folks, oh my goodness, little post-spawn bass right here at Roosevelt Lake. Oh, I'm so excited. You know, we're just getting into May, and the water temperature's heated up a little bit. We're in that time of year where topwater is just a blast. We got down here later here in the afternoon. I'm throwing this buzzbait up in the brush, up shallow, and we haven't been here 5 minutes, and he busted that thing. And I'll tell you what, there is nothing more fun to throw than a buzzbait. This time of year, when those fish are done spawning, they get hungry. And boy, when they get hungry, topwater is something else to throw. It's so much fun. You know, one thing I truly, truly enjoy doing with this buzzbait, especially this time of year when we're up against the brush like this, is I'm hitting the outside of this brush, I'm kind of paralleling it, and this outer deeper brush, but I still like to make sure I can make quick little casts up into the stuff up shallow and bring it in. And you know, as you're going down the bank a little bit, kind of I'm letting the breeze, we got perfect conditions. The breeze is blowing, a little cloud cover. We had a little bit of tiny rain. It's just perfect conditions, in my opinion, for something like this. Just finding the right areas is key. But we caught him out of all that brush that looked dead. And so I'm gonna make sure I hit some of that. We got green bushes as well. This lake has come up from all the snow pack that's coming off the mountain where I live. And man, let's hope we can catch a few more. But I like to stay parallel with this brush like this. Like I say, the outer part of this brush, and then toss in to some of that deeper stuff. And throw in the lanes. You have lanes, like this lane right here, I'm gonna throw right down the lane, even though I'm on the outside of this brush. And a lot of times they're sitting in those lanes. But you wanna try to get as close to the brush as you can. You can actually tick that blade right off the brush. You know, you got lanes like this to throw in, and I wanna reassure that there's always a co-angler asking, okay, what do I throw at? What do I throw at? Well, as I'm a boater going down this way, I'm throwing lanes this way. If you look back behind us, there's a lane straight there that I didn't hit because I'm casting forward. So the back boater should be able to hit that area right in there and hit the area that the boater wasn't able to hit. There's lanes that always open the opposite way when you're fishing in the trees like this. And it allows the back seater to be able to throw its stuff that the front seater can't get to. And so I'm hitting these lanes that are open this way, but there's always back lanes open as well. And if you guys that are sitting in the back seat are ever throwing at that and not worrying about this, but worrying about going there, you're actually able to hit water that the pro didn't hit, and you can throw back in there and catch them. I'm gonna bring it right by that bush though. See if I can bring it by that green bush, see if anything's hanging out along it. Oh, got him, right out of that bush right there. That was great. He came up and slurped that right in. Come on, baby. Come on, come on. He's not a giant, but he's a fun one. Come here, you. My goodness, I love it when they hit these buzzbaits. It is so much fun. You know what's great about a buzzbait too? Is man, you can cover a lot of water with these like a spinnerbait. You just go down the bank, cover lots of water. You're not stuck in one little area. You can kind of find where the juice is, where all the fish are. I love it. There's one. There's a good one. There's a good one. Come on, son. No, don't get in that bush. Oh, I got him in that bush. Come on. Get out of that bush. All right. I had to get up there way shallow. Come on, baby. Come on, little buzzbait bass. Look at that, nice bass. Wow, he got it. I had to throw it right up underneath that tree, but he got it. Beautiful looking bass right here at Roosevelt Lake. I'll tell you what, this can be a lot of fun. You got a lot of cloud cover. You got a little bit of a breeze. It's a perfect setup for a buzzbait. But I want to kind of go over a little bit about this buzzbait, because when I'm buzzbaiting, there's a few things I like to do, little tricks of the trade, sort of say there. But one thing is, well, I'm gonna have to pull it off and put a new one on. But when I'm throwing a buzzbait, I'm just kind of throwing at isolated trees like I'm doing today, and I'm not seeing them chase a lot of shad, and I'm just trying to bump the stump type thing and reel it a little bit slow and bring it by. I always like to throw a little tail on there. Number one, you get a good cast. It actually helps with the buoyancy of the bait because it doesn't sink as fast. It's a little heavier, but that little tail on the back, which is all ripped up, and I'll put another one on there, gives it a little bit of tail action. And for some reason, when you're reeling it slow, they crush it. The other ticket for throwing this particular kind of bait is to be able to just bend the prop a little bit. The props on the baits come out really good. This is a Persuader buzz bait. I love this buzz bait, but one thing I'll do with that aluminum blade if I want to reel it really slow is cup the blades. Put my thumb right in the middle there and just kind of cup the blade just a little bit more than what it's got. And when I do that, it allows it to grab the water and surface quicker, and you can reel it a lot slower across the water, and it gets a good little chug. But that's a great bait. You know, you get them in 3/8 ounce, ½ ounce, things like that work really good. Sometimes the more you use your buzz bait, the more fish you catch. And the reason for that is it'll start squeaking pretty good. Usually you'll start getting a good squeak, and about the time you get that awesome squeak that you like, it starts breaking down on you because it wears out. But man, I'll tell you, the more you use these things, it seems like the better the fish bite it, because of that little noise that you get. Now you can throw it out the window when you buy them and pull them out of the package to get a little squeak out of them. This one's still pretty new, but I'll tell you, it's a great bait and I love it. If it gets any darker and we're gonna fish real dark water, I'm gonna go with a black with a chartreuse tail. Right now I'm throwing the shad pattern. So it's working for us. We're gonna keep going down the bank and cover some water. Got it. He came right out of that bush right there. Come on, son. You know, the one thing I will say is, man, when you bring it by a bush and click that blade on the bush, boy, that's sometimes all it takes to get that bass to bite. That's for sure. All right. He didn't like that. Oh my goodness. A lot of times when you're bringing a buzz bait by any kind of stick, tree, anything like that, wood, you know, try to make sure that you adjust your rod tip to where when you bring the blade by, you're actually clicking it by the wood. You want it to, the blade to almost hit the wood, and it sparks something in a bass that if they're sitting there, they just come up and blast it. They really do like that. Wow, that was a good one. All right, let's do that again. The other key thing to throwing a buzzbait that's really important is to be sure that when you throw out there, when it lands, you want to be ready to go and make sure you start that thing on the surface. You don't engage your reel after it hits the water. If you do that, the bait sinks down just a little bit, and then you're half your cast pulling your bait back out to get it up on the surface. So you have to learn how to keep your rod tip high, just like I'm doing there when I throw it out, and I make sure I engage the reel like that and catch the fish like this. A little 1-2 punch there. But that's what you want to do when you throw it out there. Keep it on the surface when you first throw it out there. And you'll get lucky like this. Keep that bait right on the surface. Always leave it to a fish to rudely interrupt when you're trying to talk. I love it. Okay, I'm putting my grub tail on, and what I'm gonna do with that grub tail is I always wanna make sure that I'm bringing the tail down. The reason for that is when I bring the tail down, it actually pulls the bait like this, and it has a tendency to wave a lot better for me. So that's another thing. If I bring it up to follow the hook, a lot of times it wraps around the hook. I like it this way, catches me a lot of fish because the bait is on the surface, keeps the tail in the water. Works out great. Got that one. I got that one. He came right out of that bush. Get up here. Get up here, little dude. Come on. Look at that little guy. He came right from the backside of that bush. Man, I'll tell you what, that is a huge deal to talk about too, is, you know, when you're going down the bank a lot of times, a lot of people that are fishing the banks are constantly hitting the front sides of the bushes. If you can find a way to get behind them a lot of times, you can catch those fish that don't normally see a lure. Almost fell out the water, out the boat. But yeah, you can normally catch those fish right behind all this stuff. If you get back here a little bit, just take your time. But that fish came right out of that spot. You know, one thing that's real important to remember about buzzbait fishing, and to catch, the strike catch ratio, a lot of people don't like because they say they miss a lot of fish. A lot of it's just because we get overzealous, and as soon as we see the fish bust, we set the hook. And two things that'll help you with that. One is having a proper buzzbait rod, something that's got a good tip on it, that's got a little bit flimsier tip like this does, but has a good backbone. That allows the bass to be able to inhale this bait a little bit before you're actually really pulling on it. The other thing is if you have that big of an issue, when you see the bass bust to where you're setting the hook right away and you're that quick at the gun, you can always throw it out there, watch your cast, and then turn your head and listen for it. And sometimes that'll help you. I like watching them, and sometimes I get, especially in tournaments, I get too quick at the gun. But you know, if you let them turn and take the bait just a second when they first hit it, and allow that fish to engulf the bait and make a turn, you can normally set the hook and get him. But if he comes up and that's what you're seeing is him coming up doing this, and then you set the hook, you're pulling the bait out of him, and it's hard to get him hooked. But if you turn your head, a lot of times when you're reeling it, that could help you. And then, like I said, get yourself a good buzzbait rod. You know, I like a medium heavy. I'm using a Taipan buzzbait rod, and that really helps a lot. You know, a 7.2, 7.6, something like that'll work. But you gotta have that flimsier tip on the end to make sure that bait can be inhaled by the bass and before you really set the muscle to them. Something with a good backbone helps. So that'll help you a ton. Now, the other thing I love about throwing a buzzbait is throwing braid line. 50-pound test minimum, 65-pound. To get them out of these trees, to throw your buzzbait up in these trees, you want something. They're not gonna really see the line because the bait's up on top and it's a reaction bait. They're kind of coming from behind. So a lot of times the braid line is not a big deal. And you got sticks, all kinds of stuff. So I like a good braid line. 50 to 65-pound test line is gonna be the ticket to throw a buzzbait on. You know, a great time, and this is a great tip. I've caught fish in 58-degree water, 60-degree water on a buzzbait. One here, one there. But the biggest tip I can give you is anytime you start seeing the dragonflies coming out and you start seeing all the bugs and stuff hitting the water and the fish, that hot summer days like that, that's a great time to really start picking up a buzzbait and going after it. Those fish will hit those bugs and those flies and those dragonflies all around the trees and the stumps and things like that. They'll be hanging out waiting for something, and you'll see them bust out at a bug or a dragonfly. And I'll tell you what, that's a great time to really start throwing a buzzbait, and you'll probably have a very successful day doing it. The big ticket to buzzbait success is having a good reel, and it's got to be a fast reel. 6.4 to 1 minimum ratio reel for this kind of fishing, because see, I'm barely reeling hardly. I got a good little pace going on. If you got a real slow gear ratio reel, then you're gonna be reeling yourself. You'll be wore out in the first half hour. You gotta have a fast retrieve reel, even a 7 or an 8 to 1. Something like that is really gonna be helpful to you in your buzzbait success. So make sure you got a fast reel, and that'll help you keep that buzzbait on top of the water. We've got our light level starting to go down. So what I'm gonna do when the light level starts going down is I'm gonna go to a black buzzbait. I'm gonna change these out. I'm gonna chartreuse the tip of my tail there. And I just wanna go with a black buzzbait to see if the silhouette, see if the darker profile will actually get these fish to fire up. This bait here is great when the sun's shining. You got a little cloud cover here and there. When the sun's a little higher, the sun's starting to go down. We got some major cloud cover coming on. So I'm gonna switch it out, and I'm gonna go to the black one and see if that'll make a difference. Got him off that tree. Oh, it was a smallmouth too. Oh, yeah, that was a smallmouth. That was a nice little smallmouth. Switch to that black, and he wanted it. That was my fault. Ah. I got him, you let him get caught up in that tree right there. Oh, there's one. Oh, get out of there. He came off. Oh. He came off. Ah. He came off right by that tree. Ah. That's the problem, man. When you get those kind of fish, get them right into those trees, even when you got braid, man. He just got tied up on that limb. He wasn't a real big giant fish, but it was still a nice fish. Well, we've caught a few nice bass today. Got out here late, did the little afternoon bite thing, and had some fun. Lost a few fish. That's gonna happen on a buzzbait. It's hard to be 100% with a buzzbait, but I'll tell you, I've had a lot of fun here at Roosevelt Lake. It's that time of year. Grab some topwater, grab some of these buzzbaits. That Persuader buzzbait's an awesome buzzbait. And when you got the low light levels, go with black and chartreuse, like I was saying. And then when you have the high sun and it's real bright out, go with that white. And those two colors right there are awesome. And you'll catch a lot of fish on them, let me tell you. As soon as you see those dragonflies come out, start pitching a buzzbait. You'll have some fun. Thanks for joining us on the show. We'll see you next week. I'm Johnny Johnson. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about, folks.